There is a truth that most people spend their entire lives avoiding, and it is this: you are either growing or you are declining. There is no third option. There's no comfortable plateau where you get to pause, catch your breath, and stay exactly as you are without consequence. Life does not allow that. Nature does not allow that. A tree that stops growing begins to rot from the inside. A river that stops moving becomes a swamp, and a person who stops working on themselves, who wakes up today content to be exactly who they were yesterday, that person has already begun a slow and invisible retreat from everything they say they want. Now think about that. 10 things. Not 100, not 50, 10. 10 specific areas of your life and your character that, if you committed to improving them every single day, not dramatically, not perfectly, just a little better than yesterday, would transform the entire trajectory of your existence within a few years. That is what we are going to talk about. And I want you to stay with me, because this is not a list to read and forget. This is a mirror. And when you hold it up and look honestly, you will recognize yourself somewhere in it, maybe in several places. And that recognition, that honest, uncomfortable recognition, is the beginning of something powerful. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Write that down somewhere. Say it again slowly. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Not talent, not luck, not the right connections or the right timing or the right circumstances. The bridge is discipline. And yet most people spend their lives standing at the edge of the river, staring at the other side where their goals are waiting, wishing there were an easier way to get there. They look for a boat. They look for a shortcut. They wait for someone to come and carry them across. But no one is coming. The bridge has always been there, and you are the one who has to walk across it every single day, one step at a time. The first thing you must improve every day is your discipline over your own mind. Not your circumstances, not the people around you, your mind. Because the battle for your future is not fought in boardrooms or interview rooms or on the streets of any city. It is fought inside your own head every single morning in the first moments after you open your eyes. That is where the real contest takes place. The voice that says 5 more minutes is the same voice that will say, maybe tomorrow, and it probably won't work anyway. It is the voice of comfort, and comfort is the enemy of growth. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of your day is dictated by how you feel in the moment, and how much is dictated by what you decided in advance? Because discipline is not about feeling like doing something. No one wakes up every morning burning with desire to do the hard work. Discipline is the decision to do it regardless of how you feel. It is the commitment that survives the feeling. It is the promise you keep to yourself even when no one is watching, even when it would be easy to skip, even when the short-term pain of doing it outweighs the invisible long-term reward. Picture a pilot preparing for a flight. He does not check the instruments only when he feels like it. He does not run through the pre-flight checklist only on the days when he is enthusiastic and motivated. He does it every single time. Because his discipline is not tied to his emotion, it is tied to his standard. His commitment to the outcome is bigger than his preference in the moment. That is the mind you must build. That is the mental discipline that separates the people who accomplish things from the people who spend their whole lives talking about what they are going to accomplish someday. You must improve your mental discipline every day, a little sharper, a little more consistent, a little less willing to negotiate with the voice of comfort. Let me tell you something important. The second thing you must improve every day is your relationship with time. Not how much time you have. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. What you must improve is how you think about time, because most people treat time as if it is infinite. They treat this hour, this afternoon, this year, as if there are unlimited replacements waiting on a shelf somewhere. There are not. The hour that passed while you were doing something trivial is gone permanently. You will never get it back. The year you wasted is a year you will not have at the end of your life. Don't spend major time on minor things. That is a principle simple enough to say in 9 words and complex enough to take a lifetime to truly practice. Because the minor things are loud. They are urgent. They vibrate and ping and demand your attention. The major things, the things that actually shape your character, your relationships, your contribution to the world, those things are usually quiet. They wait patiently. And if you are not intentional, if you do not deliberately choose where your time goes, the minor things will consume everything and leave you wondering at the end of the day why you feel busy and empty at the same time. Think about a lens gathering sunlight. The same amount of light that spreads across the whole ground and barely warms anything when focused through a single point, it generates enough heat to start a fire. Your time works the same way. Spread it across 100 minor tasks, and you will produce a lukewarm result in everything. Focus it deliberately, fiercely, consistently on the things that truly matter, and you will eventually produce results that look extraordinary to people on the outside, even though on the inside you know it was simply a matter of directing your energy with intention. Every day improve how you spend your first hour. Every day improve how deliberately you protect your peak hours. Every day look at what you gave your time to yesterday and ask whether it was worth it. This habit of evaluation, of holding your time accountable, the same way you would hold an employee accountable, is one of the most underrated disciplines in the pursuit of a meaningful life. Now think about this. The third thing you must improve every day is your self-education. Not the education that someone else designed for you years ago in a classroom. Your own self-directed daily investment in becoming more. Because here is a truth that can be difficult to hear. When your formal education ended, most people stopped growing in knowledge entirely. They stopped reading. They stopped studying. They stopped exposing themselves to new ideas. And then they wonder why their results stay the same year after year. They wonder why the person who started with less seems to pass them by. They wonder why the world feels increasingly confusing and difficult to navigate. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Let that sink in. Most people give their best energy to their job, and whatever's left, the tired, distracted, half-present remainder, they give to themselves and to their growth. And then they are surprised that their job grows while they stay the same. Turn it around. Invest in yourself first. Read something every day that challenges your thinking. Listen to something that expands your perspective. Seek out the ideas of people who have already gone where you want to go. Not to copy them, not to follow their formula mechanically, but to borrow their map, test it against your own terrain, and build something original from what you learn. Picture a craftsman sharpening his tools every morning before work. He does not wait until the blade is completely dull to sharpen it. He keeps it sharp through consistent daily attention. Your mind is the tool. Your knowledge, your judgment, your capacity for clear thinking, those are the edges that need daily sharpening. And the moment you decide that you already know enough, that you have learned enough, that you are done growing in understanding, that is the moment the blade begins to dull. 30 minutes of reading a day. A single chapter, a single focused lesson, sustained across a year. That is over 180 hours of self-directed learning. Sustained across 5 years, it is a transformation so complete that you will barely recognize the person you were before you started. Let me ask you a question. What are you letting slide that you know you should be holding together? Because the fourth thing you must improve every day is your personal standards. And this one is harder than it sounds, because standards are invisible. No one measures them for you. No one grades you on them. The world will accept mediocrity from you without complaint, and that is precisely the danger. The world will let you get away with it. Your standards have to come from inside. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Read that again. A few simple disciplines. Not heroic acts of sacrifice, not grand gestures. Simple disciplines practiced every day, which means that on the other side of that truth is its mirror. Failure is nothing more than a few simple errors in judgment, repeated every day. The small compromise you make today does not feel significant. The slightly lower standard you accept this week seems harmless. But those small errors compound the same way those small disciplines do, silently, invisibly, until one day you look at your life and cannot quite explain how you got this far from where you intended to be. Think about a house built on a foundation that is off by just 2 degrees. From the outside, looking at the foundation alone, you cannot see the problem. But as the house rises floor by floor, that 2-degree error amplifies. By the time you reach the top floor, the walls do not meet, the structure is unstable, and no amount of expensive repair at the top can fix what was compromised at the base. Your standards are your foundation. The standard you hold yourself to in private, when no one is watching, when there is no external accountability, when it would be genuinely easy to let it go, that is the real standard. That is the one that determines the height of what you can build. Improve it every day. Hold the line a little more firmly. Accept a little less from the version of yourself that wants to take shortcuts. Because the shortcuts that feel like they are saving you energy are actually costing you character. And character is the one asset that no circumstance can take from you once you have truly built it. Now understand something important. The 5th thing you must improve every day is your ability to take full, unqualified responsibility for your life. Not partial responsibility. Not I take responsibility, but full responsibility. No exceptions. No qualifiers. No footnote about the difficult circumstances or the unfair treatment or the difficult hand you were dealt. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. That sentence carries more weight than most people are comfortable with, because it removes the escape route. It closes the door on the comfortable story that the reason things are not working is something or someone outside of you. And I know that can feel harsh. I know that some people have faced genuinely difficult circumstances, genuinely unfair situations, genuinely painful starting points. I am not minimizing any of that. But here is the distinction that matters. Your circumstances may explain your current position. They do not determine your final destination. And the moment you allow your circumstances to become your excuse, you have handed control of your future to something that is not going to take care of it the way you need it to. No one is coming to build your discipline for you. No one is coming to make the right decision on your behalf. No one is coming to read the books, put in the hours, hold the standard, do the work that only you can do for your own life. No one is coming. That is not a pessimistic statement. It is the most liberating truth you will ever accept. Because the moment you stop waiting for rescue and start acting as if you are the one responsible, the one who has both the problem and the solution inside the same person, everything changes. Your language changes. Your habits change. Your relationship with difficulty changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this teaching me? And what am I going to do about it? Improve your responsibility every day. When something goes wrong, resist the impulse to find the external cause first. Start internally. Ask what you could have done differently, what you missed, what you could do better. Not as an act of self-punishment, as an act of self-empowerment. Here is a truth that can be difficult to hear. The 6th thing you must improve every day is your physical energy. And I say this not because your body is more important than your mind or your character. It is not. But because your body is the vehicle through which every other improvement is expressed. A sharp mind trapped in a body that is depleted, neglected, and running on poor fuel is like a world-class engine installed in a car with no oil, no tires, and a cracked frame. The potential is there. The output is not. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And being better includes taking care of the physical instrument through which your life is actually lived. Sleep, movement, what you put into your body, how you manage your energy across the day. These are not luxuries for people who have extra time. They are the foundation of every other discipline. The person who is consistently sleep-deprived makes worse decisions. The person who never moves their body has less energy for everything else. The person who eats in ways that drain rather than fuel their system is fighting against themselves before the day has even started. Think about a farmer who tends his land. He does not plant seeds in exhausted, depleted soil and then wonder why the harvest is thin. He prepares the soil. He gives it what it needs. He protects it. He does not expect to take from the land indefinitely without also putting something back. Your body is that land. Every day you take from it, every hour of work, every decision made, every conversation had, every challenge navigated asks something of it. And every day you must also invest in it. Rest, nourishment, movement, recovery. This is not vanity. This is stewardship. You have been given one body for this entire journey. Improve how you care for it every day, even a small amount. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Walk when you would have sat. Choose the thing that fuels you over the thing that just satisfies the moment. Over years, these small daily improvements compound into a vitality that will allow you to sustain the other disciplines through decades, not just days. Let me tell you something powerful. The seventh thing you must improve every day is the quality of your relationships. Not the number, not the status, the quality. Because here is something that becomes clearer with time. You cannot separate who you are becoming from who you spend your time with. The conversations you are immersed in shape your thinking. The standards of the people around you pull at your own standards, either upward or downward. The energy of your closest associations becomes, over time, the energy you operate from by default. We must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. That principle applies not just to personal habits, but to relationships. The pain of discipline in a relationship is the honest conversation you were afraid to have, the boundary you needed to set, the friendship that required you to say, I value you, and I also need this dynamic to change. The pain of regret is looking back years from now at what you tolerated, what you absorbed, what you allowed into your inner circle out of comfort or history or fear of being alone and understanding how much it cost you. This does not mean surrounding yourself only with people who agree with everything you think and validate every choice you make. That is not a community, that is an echo chamber, and echo chambers do not grow you. What it means is surrounding yourself with people who are honest with you, who challenge you from a place of genuine care, who are themselves committed to growing and becoming, people whose example raises your standards simply by being near them. Picture the roots of a tree before a great storm. You cannot see them. They are invisible, underground, doing quiet work in the dark. But when the storm arrives, those roots determine everything. Your relationships are your roots. The deeper and more genuine they are, the more you can withstand when the storms of life come, and they always come. Improve one relationship every day. Not through grand gestures, but through presence, through honesty, through showing up with full attention and genuine intention. A better question asked, a better quality of listening, a truth told with care that you had been avoiding. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of your day do you spend reacting, and how much do you spend creating? Because the eighth thing you must improve every day is your sense of purpose and the clarity with which you pursue it. Without a clear direction, without a genuine, deeply held answer to the question of what you are building and why, discipline becomes grinding, relationships become obligations, and energy management becomes just another task. Purpose is the engine that makes every other improvement worth the effort. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. That is one of the most hope-filled truths you will ever encounter, because it means that no matter where you are right now, no matter how far off course you have drifted, no matter how many years you feel you have spent going the wrong way, a single decision made tonight can begin turning the ship around. Not instantly. The momentum of years does not reverse in a day. But the direction can change right now, and direction sustained over time becomes destination. Think about a compass needle. A single degree of difference in bearing, maintained across 1,000 miles of ocean, leads you to an entirely different continent. The small adjustments you make to the direction of your life, the clarity you sharpen about what you are actually trying to build, and why are exactly like that compass bearing, invisible in the short term. determining in the long term. Every day, spend a few minutes sitting with the question of your purpose. Not anxiously, not with self-judgment, just honestly. Ask what you are building. Ask whether what you did today moved you closer to that or further from it. Ask whether the person you are becoming is the kind of person capable of achieving what you say you want. Let the question live with you. It will sharpen you in ways that nothing else can. Let that settle in. The ninth thing you must improve every day is your character, the private version of yourself that exists when there is no audience, no reward, no external measure of accountability. Because character is not what you show. Character is what you are when there is nothing to gain from being it. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Say that slowly. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. You can tell yourself you are a person of character. You can speak the words of discipline and responsibility and courage and integrity. But if those words are not backed by consistent private action, by the choice you make when no one is watching, by the commitment you keep when it costs you something real, then the words become a kind of comfortable lie you tell yourself. And the gap between who you say you are and who you actually are does not stay private forever. It eventually shows up in your results, in your relationships, in the mirror you are trying to avoid. Think about water moving over rock. On any given day, you cannot see the water changing the rock. The rock looks the same as yesterday. The water looks the same as yesterday. There is no visible progress. But return in 100 years and the rock has been transformed, shaped, hollowed, smoothed by 10,000 days of quiet, consistent contact. Your character is built exactly this way. Not in the dramatic moment of crisis, where everyone is watching and the right choice is obvious. In the small, invisible, daily moments where it would cost you nothing to compromise, and you choose not to. Hold yourself to who you say you are, even when there is no one grading you. Tell the truth when it would be easier to be vague. Do the work that is yours to do, even when no one will know if you skipped it. Honor the commitment you made to yourself, even when the person you made it to yourself will never punish you for breaking it. These are the daily reps that build the muscle of character. And character, built this way, becomes unshakable. Now think about this. There is a final truth to bring all of this together, and it lives in the 10th thing you must improve every day: your willingness to begin again. Not someday, not after everything is in order and the conditions are right and you feel sufficiently prepared. Now, today, with whatever you have and wherever you are. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. That distinction matters enormously because most people are waiting for motivation. They are waiting to feel inspired enough, energized enough, certain enough. And motivation is real. It is a spark, and sparks are valuable. But a spark cannot sustain a fire. Habit sustains the fire. The disciplined routine that you return to, not because you feel like it, but because it is simply what you do, that is the engine. That is what carries you past the days when the motivation disappears, past the weeks when nothing seems to be working, past the years that are difficult and discouraging before they become something worth celebrating. Improvement is not a dramatic event. It is a daily act. It is a small daily choice, repeated so many times that it stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like identity. The person who reads every day does not decide each morning whether to read. Reading is simply who they are. The person who holds themselves to a high standard does not renegotiate that standard with every inconvenience. The standard is simply who they are. You become your habits. You become your daily disciplines. You become the choices that you make consistently and quietly over a long enough period of time. Think about a seed placed beneath the ground. Nothing visible happens for weeks. The ground looks unchanged. Someone walking by would see nothing. But beneath the surface, the seed is doing everything, breaking open, reaching downward with roots, reaching upward with the first fragile shoot, preparing for an emergence that has not yet arrived. That is what daily improvement looks like from the outside during the hardest early period. Nothing visible, everything essential. You must improve your discipline. You must improve how you use your time. You must invest in your own education every single day. You must raise your personal standards and refuse to negotiate them away for comfort. You must take full responsibility, no footnotes, no exceptions for the direction of your life. You must care for the physical instrument through which your entire life is expressed. You must build and deepen the quality of your relationships. You must clarify and sharpen your purpose. You must build your character in private, in the quiet moments no one sees. And you must begin again, every day, without waiting for perfect conditions that will never arrive. These are not 10 separate items on a list. They are 10 strands of a single rope. Pull on any one of them, and you affect all the others. Neglect any one of them, and you weaken the whole. Tend to all of them, even imperfectly, even on the difficult days, even when progress is invisible, and the results have not yet appeared. And over time, you will build a life that reflects the person you decided to become rather than the circumstances you were handed. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. Let that be the measure. Not the account balance, not the title, not the possessions. Who are you becoming? Is the person you are building, one daily choice at a time, someone you would be proud to stand behind in 10 years? Is the character taking shape in those invisible private moments something you would want your children to inherit? Is the direction you chose today moving the compass needle towards something that matters? Success is something you attract by the person you become, not by what you chase, not by what you demand, not by what you wish for or hope for or wait for, by what you become. And becoming is a daily act. It is the choice made in the morning before anyone is watching, the standard held at night when it would be easy to let it go, the small improvement made today that seems insignificant in isolation but is, in truth, the very material from which a remarkable life is constructed. You are either growing or you are declining. You are either building or you are eroding. And the only variable that you actually control, the only lever that is genuinely in your hands, is what you choose to do today, not what you wish you had done last year. Not what you intend to do next month. Today, this day, these hours. Improve something today. One thing, measurably, intentionally better than yesterday. And then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. Let the compound interest of small daily improvements work in your favor the way it has always worked against the people who made small daily errors in judgment and did not notice until it was much later than they thought. The bridge between who you are and who you are capable of becoming is built one plank at a time. Each plank is a day. You have today in your hands right now. Do not set it down without having placed it.